그것은 사람 마음을 움직이는 힘이 있어. 끝까지 그것을 믿지 마.
왜? 나한테 현혹될 것 같은가?
Get ready, guys, because the second half of 2026 is shaping up to be a wild ride for Korean dramas. With stars like Sun Ye-jin, Nam Gong-min, and even Ji Chang-wook returning with not just one but two major dramas in the second half of the year, the excitement is already on another level. So settle down, grab your popcorn, and let's dive into the most anticipated Korean dramas. Premiering in the second half of 2026, you definitely need to keep on your radar. Kicking off the lineup is a medical thrilling drama, Dr. X.
생명을 다루는 의료 행위조차 돈과 권력의 논리에 의해 굴러가는 이 하얀 마피아의 시대에 나타난 고독한 존재.
이해 있습니다.
외과의 개수정. 다른 이름은?
Dr. X follows the story of a genius surgeon who gets transferred to a prestigious university hospital through a medical staffing agency. Stepping into the hospital walls, our female lead relies solely on her extraordinary surgical skills as she refuses to bow down to the corruption and hierarchy controlling the medical system. Starring Kim Ji-won in the lead roles, this series also explores the clash between our female lead and her senior doctors, hospital directors, and the hidden power structure that operate like a white mafia behind the scenes. Premiering every Friday and Saturdays, Dr. X would also be available for streaming on Netflix.
이 하얀 마피아의 시대에 나타난 고독한 존재.
이해 있습니다.
외과의 개수정. 다른 이름은? 닥터 X.
Following that is a mystery fantasy drama, Portrait of Delusion.
넌 완전히 다른 세상을 보게 될 거야.
그것은 사람 마음을 움직이는 힘이 있어. 끝까지 그것을 믿지 마.
왜? 나한테 현혹될 것 같은가?
Set in 1935, this series follows the story of a struggling painter commissioned to create a portrait of our female lead, a mysterious woman who hasn't been seen publicly for over 50 years. However, what starts as a professional assignment quickly turns into a supernatural horror as our male lead becomes deadly obsessed with a vampire and a dark secret that slowly ended every artist before him. Based on a popular webtoon, this series stars Bae Suzy and Kim Seon-ho in the lead roles, airing with a total of 12 episodes exclusively on Disney+.
왜? 나한테 현혹될 것 같은가?
Moving on is a fantasy romance drama, Take Charge of My Heart.
입술 부딪히셨을 때요. 느낌 없으셨어요? 뭔가 찌릿? 짜릿.
처녀.
내가 백호랑씨 살려줄게요.
Starring Kim Young-kwang and Chae Soo-bin in the lead roles, this series follows the contract-based relationship between a powerful third-generation chaebol with an artificial heart that slowly runs out of battery and a mysterious woman who possesses the unique ability to recharge him. However, as both our main leads crosses path with each other, they soon enter into a contract-based relationship that slowly turns into an electrifying romance. Airing with a total of 12 episodes, Take Charge of My Heart is slated to premiere exclusively on Netflix.
입술 부딪히셨을 때요. 느낌 없으셨어요? 뭔가 찌릿? 짜릿.
처녀.
내가 백호랑씨 살려줄게요.
Guys, a quick reminder, if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, be sure to do that right now. If you have done that, let's get back into the list. Up next is a historical romance drama, The Scandal.
내 성공하면 어찌하시려고?
상을 드려야지요. 9개서 원하는 무엇이든.
Set in the late Joseon dynasty, this series follows the story of a cunning noblewoman who secretly resents the strict rules of society that keeps women powerless. However, everything changes when our female lead discovers her husband plans to take an innocent widow as his concubine and proposes a reckless bet to a notorious playboy, a man who doesn't believe in love and treats romance like a sport. Starring Sun Ye-jin, Ji Chang-wook, and Nana in the lead roles. Premiering with only just 8 episodes and would be airing exclusively on Netflix.
내 성공하면 어찌하시려고?
상을 드려야지요. 9개서 원하는 무엇이든.
Ji Chang-wook is also set to star in a Korean-Japanese series known as Marry Berry Love. Set against the backdrop of a secluded island, this series follows the story of a Korean space planner who, after a series of career failures, moves to a remote Japanese island to start a new life. There, our male lead meets a cheerful strawberry farmer living with a mysterious illness. However, despite completely coming from different worlds, both our main leads learn to navigate both cultural differences, misunderstandings, and their growing feelings for each other. Starring Ji Chang-wook and Mio Imada in the lead roles, Mary Berry Love is set to premiere in the second half of 2026 on Disney Plus and Nippon TV. Another Korean-Japanese collaboration is also coming in the second half with Road.
기동수사대 소속 김석 형사라고 합니다.
짐승 새끼 마냥 알던 게
Starring Sun Suk-koo and Nagayama Eita in the lead roles, this series follows two detectives from both Korea and Japan as they track a serial killer leaving mutilated bodies and cryptic messages across both countries. Messages written in Korean appear on Tokyo victims, while a message written in Japanese are found on Korean victims. However, with both our male leads trying to work together, their uneasy partnership forces them to rely on each other's instinct and experience.
기동수사대 소속 김석 형사라고 합니다.
짐승 새끼 마냥 알던 게
Moving on is a thrilling romance drama, The Husband.
진짜 세윤이가 뭘 원하는지 나도 잘 모르겠어.
내가 도와준 거라고 생각했으면 오해야. 병원 분위기까지 우리처럼 방치할 순 없잖아.
분명 누구를 만나러 온 거야.
또 다른 공범이야?
Starring Nam Gung-min and Lee Seol as our main leads, this series follows a former neurosurgeon turned hospital director whose world gets turned upside down when his wife suddenly disappears just before they finalize their divorce. Targeted as the main prime suspect in the case, our male lead desperately tries to save her, confronting dangerous criminals while uncovering many hidden secrets surrounding their broken marriage. This series is set to premiere every Saturday and Sundays, airing with just 12 episodes, and would also be streaming on Disney Plus for international fans.
사모님 살인 청탁하는 거예요? 이세윤 씨 어디 있는지 말해. 당신 알잖아.
모른다고 정말. 세윤이가 납치된 건 맞아. 내가 세윤이 구해야 돼.
Up next is a romance comedy drama, Our Sticky Love. Set in a quiet rural village, this series follows the story of a brilliant prosecutor who wakes up with no memory of who she is after a tragic accident, only to find herself living under the same roof with a small-town boxing coach who calmly and very confidently claims to be her boyfriend. However, what begins as a strange living arrangement between our main leads gradually shifts into a hilarious and heartwarming romance, starring Jung Hae-in and Ha Young as our main leads.
내가 남자친구라는 게 그렇게 납득이 안 돼?
네.
아니 뭐 저런.
누구냐? 넌.
믿게 해줄게.
Moving on is a historical spy drama, 100 Days of Lies. Set in Gyeongseong during the Japanese occupation, this series follows the story of a master pickpocket who is recruited by the Korean independence movement to infiltrate the Japanese government under a false identity, acting as a fake spy for 100 days. Posing as an employee, our female lead also finds herself in a forbidden romance with a Korean interpreter she meets during her mission. Starring Kim Yoo-jung and GOT7's Park Jin-young as our main leads, this series explores themes of espionage, double identities, and dangerous liaisons. As it's set to air every Saturdays and Sundays with a total of 16 episodes and would also be available for streaming on Netflix in selected regions. Also adding to the lineup is the second season to the hit action thriller A Shop for Killers. This Disney Plus action-packed series follows the story of our female lead as she fights to protect her late uncle's covert weapons shop from falling into the wrong hands. In the first season, we got the full package of stylish action scenes, compelling characters, and layered plot that also left plenty of unanswered questions. However, the second season takes our female lead back to her university days, where she discovers a suspicious trading app secretly used for underground services, and once again becomes the target for deadly assassins. Starring Kim Hye-jun and Lee Dong-wook reprising their lead roles, the second season is set to premiere with only just 8 episodes and would be available to stream on Disney+.
여길 차지하겠다고 계속 덤빈다면 여기서 다 죽게 될 거야.
Another drama premiering for a second season is Family Plan.
브레인 해킹이라고 기억까지 완벽하게 지배하는 거야. 빡세.
나쁜 행동에는
This dark comedy series tells the story of a group of people, each with a unique supernatural ability, as they come together as a family to protect themselves from dangerous enemies trying to hunt them. The second season brings back the original cast members as our main leads find themselves in a new city, forced into action as they use their unique supernatural abilities to protect one another. Starring Lomon and Lee Soo-hyun in the lead roles, this series is set to premiere with a total of just 6 episodes on Coupang Play.
몇 명이 죽어나가든 우리 지훈이 지우보다 중요한 건 없어.
Moving on is a romance mystery drama, Love in Disguise. Based on a popular web novel, this series follows the story of a third-generation chaebol whose life gets turned upside down when he suddenly becomes a prime suspect in the murder of his former secretary. Disguised as a man, our female lead goes on an undercover mission as his new secretary to secretly dig into the case. However, as she hilariously tries to hide her real identity, an unexpected romance begins to bloom between them. Starring Yim Si-won and Seol In-ah in the lead roles, Love in Disguise is set to air with only just 12 episodes every Monday and Tuesdays, and would also be streaming on Prime Video for international fans. Following that is a sports romance comedy drama, Your Ground. This series follows a talented baseball player whose career comes to a sudden halt after a sudden accident. Lost and unsure on how to return to the game he loves, everything changes when our male lead meets a former lawyer-turned-sports agent whose relentless drive and confidence becomes the unexpected guide that helps him find his way back onto the field. Starring Han Hyo-joo and Gong Myung as our main leads, this series is set to premiere every Friday and Saturdays with a total of only just 10 episodes, and will also be available for streaming on Wave and Viki. Slated for a release in the fourth quarter is the mystery horror drama Dead End Job.
시작합니다.
일하라고 일!
Starring Lee Jae-wook and Go Min-si in the lead roles, this spine-chilling horror follows a broke young man drowning in debt as he takes on an amazing gig paying 50 times the normal hourly wage through a mysterious resource center. However, what starts as a dream opportunity quickly spirals into a nightmare as our male lead finds himself surviving each shift as he encounters bizarre and supernatural horrors that push him to his limits. Airing with a total of 8 episodes, Dead End Job is slated to premiere in the fourth quarter of 2026, exclusively on Netflix.
시작합니다.
일하라고 일!
And finally on our list is the fantasy romance drama The Remarried Empress. Based on a webtoon of the same name, this series follows the story of an empress whose calm and orderly life is shattered when her husband breaks his promise and takes in a former slave as his mistress. However, refusing to simply accept her fate, our female lead makes a bold move by agreeing to a divorce on the condition that she marries Prince Heinrich of the rival Western Empire as her future husband. Starring Shin Min-ah, Lee Jong-suk, Ju Ji-hoon, and Lee Si-young as our main leads. This series also blends court politics, complicated romantic entanglements, and also a secret where our male lead have a mystical ability to transform into a bird. The Remarried Empress is set to air with a total of just 10 episodes exclusively on Disney+. And that's all for now. Which Korean dramas are you excited to add to your watch list? Let us know in the comments section below. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I invite you to join our community, and don't forget to leave a like, as it helps me a lot in bringing new content like this to you. Have a great day. See you in the next video.